Oak Bay, Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I just have a couple of questions on this section to seek clarification. The questions are with respect to fees charged by healthcare providers or practitioners under three potential scenarios. My question to the Minister is this. Let's suppose there are three people. One person goes to a healthcare practitioner, and that healthcare practitioner agrees to charge a certain amount that's well within the fees as prescribed under this act here. Second one goes there and is willing to charge a little bit more, but the person actually has a benefit plan of some form that is allowed to step in or works with WCB or works with ICB in some manner. And the third person goes to a physiotherapist who decides that you're going to get the service, but ICBC is only willing to pay a certain amount. They're going to have to bill and charge the additional amount. Is this covered in some way so that there can be no additional billing, no additional attempts to tap into third-party insurances, or and what does this section do with respect to those healthcare practitioners who don't agree to pay the price as set by this regulation?
Mr. Attorney.
In the first scenario where the person goes in and the benefit level paid by ICBC either exceeds or is equal to the service charge, then obviously there's no issue there. The second scenario where someone's got a long-term disability arrangement of some kind or insurance of some kind that might top up benefit, so they go into the service provider and then there's an additional charge, that would be dependent on the person's insurance terms and whether they covered that kind of thing. It's certainly possible that that could happen. There's no rule against that happening here. In the third scenario where someone goes in and the service provider is charging, it could be called a user fee or an additional charge on top of what ICBC will pay in benefits. We looked at saying, no, you are not allowed to do that, just to ban it outright in the Act. The risk of doing that is that you may limit people from accessing the healthcare provider of their choice. And we decided to leave it as, okay, ICBC will pay market rates, and then people can choose their provider if they want to pay extra to go to practitioner X when practitioners Y and Z are charging at the ICBC rate, then they can choose to do that. There are a couple of ways in which ICBC can encourage providers to charge at the market rate. One is direct pay, where ICBC pays the provider directly, and the individual who comes in for the appointment, it's invisible to them, and it's much easier for the provider to administer. And ICBC could easily say to someone's charging in excess of their rates, look, we're not going to do direct pay with you because you're charging beyond what we're willing to pay. And the other is ICBC can provide a list of providers that are offering services at the set rate in the area of the person who's injured in the accident. And in order for the practitioner to be on that list, they need to be at the rate set by ICBC. It's a fairly significant stream of customers. So there are a couple ways for ICBC to motivate that through carrots. And we looked at the stick and we decided not to do it out of a risk that someone may be denied access to the healthcare practitioner of their choice because the healthcare practitioner says, no, 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 we don't do ICBC at all. We refuse to do that.
Oak Bay, Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I just wanted to quickly follow up. I do note the hour, but I would like to thank the Minister for taking this approach of focusing on the patient as opposed to focusing on litigation. I do notice that that is a theme that we're seeing through here, and we'll be exploring this further at committee stage, is the focus is on recovering and the patient now as opposed to litigation and getting funds after the fact, which is historical. There's no comment here. I do want to stand and note the hour and suggest that perhaps we would like to adjourn for the day and continue it at some other time.